In the heart of Philadelphia lies a neighborhood called Kensington, an area that holds stark contrasts. On one side, the hustle and bustle of the city and its activities. On the other, a different kind of life, the life of the homeless. The morning sun began to rise, its light filtering through the cracks in Kensington's old buildings. The homeless began to stir from their slumber. Most of them slept on shop fronts, under bridges, or on deserted street corners. They awoke with stiff, cold limbs, the remnants of a long, hard night. Their morning routine began with searching for scraps of food in trash cans or waiting for the mercy of passers-by. Some tried odd jobs like helping carry groceries or cleaning up trash in the hope of earning a little money for food. The days in Kensington felt long and tiring. The heat of the sun burned their skin, while their stomachs ached and their throats were dry. They wandered aimlessly, looking for shade or simply to sit down and rest. Some of them gathered in the park or in front of the church, trying to find friends with the same fate to share stories and experiences. Afternoons are the most challenging time for the homeless in Kensington. They must find a place to sleep before nightfall. Competition for safe and comfortable accommodations is fierce. Some are forced to sleep in the open, exposed to danger. Night times in Kensington are eerily silent. The cold air pierces the bones, while the noise of the city adds to the silence. They huddle under thin blankets or old cardboard boxes, trying to keep warm and protect themselves from danger. However, amidst the harshness of life in Kensington, there is still a glimmer of hope. Several social organizations and volunteers come to their aid by providing food, clothing, and temporary shelter. They also provide moral support and help the homeless find jobs and decent housing. The story of the homeless in Kensington is one of struggle, resilience, and hope. They are part of the city of Philadelphia, though often forgotten and overlooked. They are human beings with dreams and hopes, just like the rest of us. Among the worn brick buildings and cracked streets of Kensington, Philadelphia, are rarely heard stories. Stories of the marginalized, who struggle daily to survive amidst the harshness of the city. That morning, dew still moistened the weeds in a small park near the train tracks. An elderly man with a wrinkled face awoke from his nap on a park bench. His eyes were droopy, but he still held a glimmer of hope. He straightened his shabby clothes and began walking down the bustling street. On the street corner, a young woman with disheveled hair rummaged through a trash can for scraps of food. Her hands trembled when she found a piece of crusty bread. She devoured it greedily, as if it were the most delicious meal she had ever tasted. The midday sun stung their skin. They sought shade under bridges or in the porches of empty shops. Some of them tried to offer their services to passers-by, hoping to earn a little money for food. However, they often received only cynical stares or even ignored them. A middle-aged man sat in front of the church, playing a harmonica with a melancholy tune. His music drifted over the bustle of the city, conveying both sadness and hidden hope. Several people paused to listen, moved by the heart-rending melody. A middle-aged man sat in front of the church, playing a harmonica with a melancholy tune. His music drifted over the bustle of the city, conveying both sadness and pent-up hope. Several people paused to listen, moved by the heart-rending melody. In the afternoon, they began looking for a place to spend the night. Some slept in shelters provided by social organizations, but space was limited. Most were forced to sleep on the streets, under the open sky. At night, the cold air pierced their bones. They huddled under thin blankets or used cardboard boxes, trying to keep warm. The sound of sirens and passing vehicles added to the silence of the night. They prayed silently, hoping that tomorrow would be better than today. However, amidst the darkness and hardship, there was still a glimmer of hope. Volunteers came with warm food, clean clothes, and sincere smiles. They listened to the homeless people's stories, offered moral support, and helped them find a way out of their predicament. Kensington is a darkened portrait of a city filled with both pain and hope. Behind the glittering city lights, there are stories of people struggling to survive, searching for meaning, and finding hope amidst adversity. Their stories are a reminder to us all to always care, share, and give love to others. In the Kensington district of Philadelphia, the pulse of life beats at a different rhythm. There, among the old buildings and bustling streets, hide stories of resilience, hope, and endless struggle. Morning greets us with a thin mist covering the streets. A young woman, her face tired but her eyes bright, rises from the shop porch where she slept. She smooths her tangled hair and begins walking, looking for a place to clean herself. In a small park, an elderly man sits pensively on a bench. He watches the children play happily, as if trying to recall happier times. He takes a deep breath, then gets up and walks toward the city center. The midday sun burns their skin. They look for odd jobs like helping carry goods or picking up trash. Some manage to earn a little money, enough to buy a simple meal. However, most endure hunger and thirst. A middle-aged man stood on a street corner, playing his worn guitar. His music drifted over the bustle of the city, creating a stark contrast. Some people stopped to listen, offering small amounts of money as a token of appreciation. In the afternoon, they began looking for a place to spend the night. Some slept in shelters provided by social organizations, but they were always full. Most were forced to sleep on the streets, under bridges, or in deserted parks. At night, the cold air pierced their bones. They huddled under thin blankets or used cardboard boxes, trying to keep warm. The noise of the city added to the silence of the night. They prayed silently, hoping the next day would bring good things. However, amid the hardship and darkness, there was still a glimmer of hope. Volunteers arrived with warm food, clean clothes, and sincere smiles. They offered moral support, job search assistance, and temporary shelter. Kensington is a mirror of our society, reflecting injustice, inequality, and a lack of concern for others. The stories of the homeless there are a call to all of us to care more, share more, and act to create a better world.